From 1948 until 1984, the Democratic Party virtually owned the southern states, affectionately known as Dixie. But since then, Republicans have dominated the bulk of the 11 states which make up the Deep South and carried most of them in every presidential election since Ronald Reagan's second term. Beginning tomorrow, the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, Howard Dean, will set out in his newly decked-out voter registration bus to try to reclaim the South for Barack Obama and the Democrats. Chairman Dean, the former governor of Vermont, joins us live from Washington. Mr. Chairman, thanks for coming on today.
David, thanks for having me on.
I want to show you a billboard that's now up in one of those southern states, Florida. I'm not sure if you've seen this, but it has a photo of the World Trade Center burning on 9/11 and carries the message, "Don't vote for a Democrat." Never mind all the outrage. Is this some of what you're up against down south?
This is exactly what the southern people of the South are up against. Bush and McCain and all these Cheney have scared the hell out of them for the last 30 years with stuff like this, and has obscured our message, and it hasn't served the people of the South or the rest of the country very well. Our message is, let's worry about $4 gas, let's worry about the mortgage scandals, let's worry about Bush's and McCain's indifference to the victims of Katrina. John McCain went and talked about education today. He voted against Head Start. This is a guy who'll say anything to get elected president. We've seen enough of that. We don't need a third term for George W. Bush. We need real solutions to the economy, and people in Mississippi and Alabama and Florida and Georgia need that just as much as people from Pennsylvania and Michigan. So that's what I expect of the Republicans, is those kind of billboards. We're here to bring America together, and that's what we're going to do.
Chairman Dean, as you know, the 11 states of the old Confederacy hold 153 electoral votes. That's about 60% of what's needed to win the White House. Realistically, which states do you expect you can win?
We think we can win Virginia. We think we have a good shot at North Carolina, Georgia. I'm going to Mississippi and Louisiana and Texas. Texas, Barack Obama, the last poll I saw, was 5 points behind in the state of Texas. I don't know if we can win Texas or not, but if we can't, we sure want to change the Texas House so that we'll have an honest legislature again in Texas after Tom DeLay got through with the Republicans that are still controlling it there. So we're going to change America. That's what this election is about. You want more of the same, or do you want real change? And Senator Obama is for real change, and the South, I think, wants real change just like everybody else does. Well,
and as you know, though, sometimes it takes money to make change happen. Are you going to be putting any money in Texas?
I don't know the answer to that. Well, obviously we're putting some in, or I wouldn't be motoring through there. We also, the Democratic Party has been putting money into every single state, including Texas, for the last 3.5 years, getting us ready for this election and the ones that have come before it.
Chairman Dean, I want to ask you about something President Bush said yesterday. He had a news conference. He talked about the economy and said our economic system is basically sound and our economy is growing. That's accurate, isn't it?
No, it's not. It may be growing.
Our economy's not growing?
It may be growing for people like him and John McCain, but it's not growing for people who are paying $4.50 for gas and have to quit their jobs because in rural areas of the country, because they drive 40 or 50 miles to work. No,
well, that's
not
true,
growing.
but overall it's growing, though, right?
It's not growing for 80% of Americans, and that's the 80% that we're going to. And a lot of those 80% are in fact, Mississippi and North Carolina and Virginia and Georgia. They are Americans, and the Democratic Party needs to reach out to them. The Democratic Party saved the South during the Depression because the Republicans surely didn't care, and the South is in trouble economically just like the rest of the country is, and we're going to go back to the South, ask for their votes, show up, contest those southern states, because Barack Obama is going to be the president for everybody in America, not just a few people in America.
Chairman Dean, Senator Obama said that he desperately needs the Clintons during the campaign. Where is former President Bill Clinton, speaking of the South? I mean, certainly you would love to have him along for this bus ride, right?
Well, we were actually focusing on local candidates. Rick Noriega is a candidate for the United States Senate. His wife will be with us in Texas. We think the governor of North Carolina may be with us in North Carolina as we go through there. We've got a lot of folks running for local offices. So our principal function is to get people registered to vote and to show that Senator Obama is serious about these states and is serious about helping local people in the local ballot, too.
Democratic National Committee Chairman Howard Dean coming on a bus near you, especially if you live in the South. Chairman Dean, thanks for coming on today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.